I'll be done in some time.
All right, good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Anambra here on ABS TV. The topic we'll be looking at now is a new method for waste disposal in Anambra State. Of course, since the emergence of this present administration, they've been coming up with people-oriented policies that will help us to have the smart mega city that we all have been, clamoring for. And today with us in the studio to help us discuss this new method of waste disposal in Anambra State are Ms. Chiamaka Nake, Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Anambra State. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. We also have Engineer Mike Ozemena, Managing Director, Anambra State Waste Management Agency. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right.
Thank you for coming.
I think I've asked you this question before. Now, let me start from Chiamaka. Let me ask her, when you came to, not when you came to Anambra, when you started your job as the commissioner, and when you looked around Anambra State, how will you say you would describe the attitude of the Anambra when it comes to disposing of our wastes?
Okay, around attitude, that's a very big question. I think coming in, we understand that open disposal has been the order of the day in Anambra, which has remained, although there's been effort to ensure that we dispose waste properly in Anambra. But I think coming in, we understand that we saw that people openly dispose waste, and that's because we don't have house-to-house collection at the time. So we started off telling people, that was the case at the time we came in, people indiscriminate disposal of refuse, roadside dumps and all. But what we have right now is a case of house-to-house collection. So this is something we are bringing on board, and we hope that instead of disposing, because actually looking beyond just letting your refuse out there is also the health impact of the type of refuse disposal method we currently engaging in. So what we are currently looking at is trying to get house-to-house collection, door-to-door. Just pack your refuse and we come to your place to carry them. So I think that's what we're trying to push at the moment. But what it is basically is that, yes, the attitude has been okay. We just let it out and people come to pack it. But beyond that, we think that waste disposal should actually be a personal attitude. If cleanliness is actually what it is. If you keep it out there, it impacts everybody, it impacts your community, it impacts you health-wise, and also in the look and feel of how the state is. So it actually has a personal impact on how the Anambra people are perceived. So beyond just dumping your refuse, actually the several impacts it has on Anambra and what people think of the people of Anambra, on the Anambra.
All right, Engineer Ozemena, now back to you. Before now, we've had this attitude of people going about dumping their refuse on the designated places where you have receptacles, and at the end of the day, ASWAMA will now come and pick it up. But now you're saying a different thing of going from house to house to collect the waste. What actually informed this new method coming from you, the ASWAMA boss?
Thank you very much. And I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, welcome.
Like the commissioner said, the attitude should change. The way we've been doing it before has to change to the way it is done all over the world. There is no place, apart from here, that you see refuse littering the street. Usually, like she said, is something that you keep with yourself, keep in your family, keep in your household. Then the Waste Management Authority will come and pick it from you. Now we are also introducing the purchase of waste bins. From now till December 31st, everybody is free to go buy bins anywhere you want. But after 1st of January next year, we will now bring the bins to you, and then you are now obliged to pay. Because refuse is not flowers. We find it not too good that coming from Asaba, for example, when we came, on the left side, all you see is mountain of refuse. And we thought it's not going to be continued that way. And so right now, I'm happy that in the Anambra, they are helping us, but not the level we want. Because right now, too, you see people, decent in quote, put this waste in their vehicles, come to the street and drop it anyhow. And you wonder if that person is sane at all. Now, what we're asking and pleading is, please, we are getting ready. We are ready to begin to do house-to-house collection of your waste. Sort your waste so I can even make money from it.
I think that part, sorting of waste, is where we still need to sensitize people because they don't even know how to sort the waste.
You have plastic, you have paper, you have tins, that's metal. Then you have the decomposables, that's vegetables and all of those. These are things that can give you money, even as a household person. You know, that's level we are also going to get to. But we're not there yet. But we're telling our people, all we need is, please do not bring your waste to the streets anymore. We have decentralized this to the local governments, to the wards, to the communities, so that they are closest to you. The governor knows that you can from Oka and go to, for example, clean Layamel. So we have said every local government, now is your time to use your local content and clean your place. You know, it's no more business as usual. From the 1st of this month, that is October 1st, it's been given back to the local governments to be able to now make sure that their areas are clean. It's a competition now for the first 3 cleanest local governments and the last 3, the worst local governments. So that even the job of the TC chairman as a chairman is on the line, you know, if he's not doing well with the cleanliness of his play here. So that's the competition. We've just put it down so that we have somebody to hold responsible. Hitherto this time, the councillors, most of them sit there, do nothing. But now they have a job to do. The government has now given them a job to do on this waste management stuff. And then we have also created waste management committee in each of the 326 wards of Anambra State, so that once your waste is full, you have a number to call. Or even before then, you meet with them. They meet with all the streets. And then, of course, map out days and times for the collection. So that once it is the time for that street and they've not come, you call them. Then, of course, if they don't come, then you cannot let us know. Once we know, we call their attention. If they don't, then we know how to sanction them.
Okay, so it's now left for the local government chairman, TC chairman, and the councillors to know what works for them. The day they are going to go all the wards and pick the refuse.
That's why I use the word local content.
Okay.
Because what works for Oka South might not be what works for Onitsha North or Onitsha South. You know, as the case may be, you know, because we have also categorized this into semi-urban, rural, and the urban areas.
Yes, I was actually getting to that because of the new Aswama rate. We saw that we even read the announcement right here in ABS, and a whole lot of people have been talking about it. Yeah, you even see some fora on social media discussing about the new rate where you categorize the local government, urban, semi-urban, and rural. Now let's talk about this new Aswama rate. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You see, the Aswama law was made in the year 2015. Diesel cost was around 85 naira per liter. Today, diesel cost is 810 naira per liter. And then, how can you really do this? The oil money coming from Abuja is dried up. Madam Budget will tell you. It's dried up. And so the government is looking inwards. How are we going to continue to do this? Now, yesterday, we signed almost 300 and something million to pay the contractors. Waste management is not trivial. It's capital intensive venture. And if government at this point starts to continue to bear the brunt, bear the cost, then we do nothing else. And so we are pleading with our people. that things have changed. We are also now asking them to hold us accountable if we don't do the job, because this is about service. This is about payment for service now. So what's brought about this increase is that, see, we also made sure that we checked all the states around us, even including Lagos. And then we found out that Anambra is the lowest. But that's not even the issue. The issue is that the cost of driving one truck is something you cannot, is about for 24,000 for 30 liters, 24,000 per day. So it's not easy. So, and government alone cannot bear it anymore. So that's why we did this little adjustment that we just done. It's because this is just little adjustment. And then of course, knowing that, like I said, what works in urban areas might not be what works in the rural areas. So we have also left the rural area. Their cost and the cost of ownership, Oka, Newi, and then Florida is not the same. Because these are areas also where the volume of refuse that comes is enormous. You can bear with me that if Oka alone, if you don't go out every day, then the whole place will come messy. So, Oka, in Newi, Onisha South, Onisha North, Obaru, are different places altogether. So, they have to help us with this little adjustment we've made, so that we can serve them better too.
All right, Chamaka, do you think that this is achievable, especially for those people living in the rural communities? Because I've seen some people talking about that they don't even, before now, they don't even look for where they can dispose their waste. Some of them, they use it for their ubazono, what they generate from their kitchen. And then the little, something like plastic bags and all that, they burn it. They don't even have the need for them to bring out, bag their refuse and bring it out for it to be disposed. And now they're saying they are going to pay a certain amount, knowing fully well that some people, even people living in Oka, they are not used to paying Aswama levy before now.
Okay, thank you so much. I totally agree with you, and hence the reason for decentralizing this waste management. So every community, the TC chairman then determines what works for the community. If we don't generate refuse, then really that then means you won't be paying. Okay. But if there's refuse being generated, then the people that generate it needs to pay. So that's actually what brought about the decentralization. This point is actually the reason for this. So you check what works for your people, and you guys have to sit down and come up. In that village, there are still people that generate refuse. So it could just be those people that are funding the refuse management in the community. Right, so I know festivity period is coming, and some of those things will have to come up. So those people will be the ones who pay the cost of evacuating their refuse. So that is why the community-owned intervention is what we went for. And also, your second question is people mentality of it's something we need to change. Hence why we're online. So the waste management, like the MD said, is very cost intensive. So what we've been doing is government intervening. And to what extent, understanding, like he just reminded us that the oil money has dried up. So what we're actually doing is looking internally to see how much we can generate to be able to drive the economy. So where we are right now is more like local. We're trying to build the economy. So whatever you see, we plow back into the state. So there's no external funding. So whatever we're going to do for Anambra will come from under Anambra. And we are hoping that for waste management, really, it's more like paying itself. You trying to generate funds to be able to pay the contractors. It's not for the government. It's actually just service being rendered and paying for the services you currently being provided.
Okay.
So that's what this is about.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name and your location?
My name is Stephen Okongo. I stay in Lagos, and I want to make a complaint like this.
Stephen, can you speak louder, please? Be audible.
I said...
Yes. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So what I'm saying is this. I am from Anambra State, from Iyala local government.
Okay.
So what I'm complaining, I want to let you people know, our ask question is, how I been taking this to clean up to the Iyala local government. Precisely, I am from Uli. And you know that Odibengo Juku University,
Yes.
And we have many students there messing up the place to refugee. So I don't know how they are going to get to that our side, that fully. Precisely, that is where if you go there, you see how students are messing up everywhere. Nobody comes to clean it. And I know the students are ready to pay. They are ready to pay. Because...
Oh, sorry. That's the network. You had
yeah, sure. Steve, you're right. Once they are ready to pay, the TC chairman has no problem. Because right now, the TC chairman knows that it's his job to clean up Ihiala. So, and the Ihiala is a gateway to Anambra State. And so it's one of the most important areas in Anambra. So, Steve, don't bother. The TC chairman is hearing you too. He knows that part of his job is to clean the place. And then if not, Madam Commissioner will attest to that his job is also on the line if he does not really meet up to this task. Because the task is, apart from any other thing you do, the fifth item on the manifesto of Mr. Governor is clean, smart, mega city. So, first of all, you have to clean the city before it can be mega.
Sure. Now, okay, Madam Commissioner, he said we should ask you what will happen to those people that fail in their duties, because
I said attest.
Okay, attest. Sorry. Okay, maybe I made a mistake. But then I want to ask you, any plans on defaulters? Because of course I know a whole lot of people. Maybe when there is when something happens, a deterrent. Maybe next time or next month. I don't know if the competition is on monthly basis or what.
Because of course, monthly basis.
Okay, monthly basis. So, any plans on how to, punish people that default?
Okay, where we are now, we really don't think that, because everybody understands, I think the way most of them are being recruited is based on their capacity to deliver.
Okay.
So I think, yes, we are starting off, so everyone is even still trying to understand it. And there's some hand-holding that needs to happen, which we understand, and I know Asoma is doing justice to that. So after the hand-holding, with the expectation that that they will perform, I'm not sure that where we stand right now that someone wants to take the chance, but I know that everybody understands it, and all hands are on deck to ensure that this works. So we understand that most of them are not used to this kind of operation, so it requires some hand-holding and also guide towards ensuring that this works. It's more like a partnership, I see,
exactly.
And we expect it to work, because it just needs to work. Really, it's just beyond the person, but that the community needs to be clean.
Yes. Exactly.
That is it.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us your name and your location.
This is David speaking, huh?
David.
From Oka.
All right, go ahead, David.
Please, I think people say that, yes, I should say that that revenue refuse can be converted to cash. Why not allow the people to assemble that refuse so that they can give you the refuse free and you will not charge them any amount?
Wow. Okay. That's the question, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, just that. All right, thank you so much.
So, like I said before, if you listen to me, we've not got to that point yet. Because first of all, what we are into now is making sure that the state is clean. That's where we are now, and it's capital intensive. So right now, everybody has to pay his own fair share for now. Then, by the time we graduate with the investors that are coming, then you also know that we've come to that stage. That time, it might not be seen as someone coming to pick your waste anymore. It might be a foreign person coming to do it. And so, please, just hang on, bear with us for now. Right now is pay as you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now again, I want to understand, because I noticed somewhere around, if you're going from Aroma to Ekoka, there's a place that used to be a designated place for where you put your refuse. But I noticed that they've taken away the receptacles. Now, that's an indication that you don't want refuse to be dumped there again. But even as I'm passing that place this morning, I still saw some refuse there. So what's happening?
Which place,
if you're going
Okay,
from,
don't worry,
I don't even know the name of that place.
You know, a change of attitude is something that is gradual. Now we have outlawed open dumping, but people are still doing it, hoping that we will use force to stop them. Now, we are getting ready for that too. We have formed in the state what is called ANJET. ANJET is Anambra Joint Enforcement Team. And so, part of their job is to stop you from dumping refuse and buy a bin and keep in your house. That's where the refuse ought to be. Buy a bin and keep in your house. So that once we come, once in a week, 2 times a week, we'll empty it and leave your bin for you. The street is for flowers. The street is meant to be swept and not for littering. It's not a litter point. Nobody should litter the street. The street is if anybody is coming to Anambra, the first thing the person sees is our streets.
Go ahead.
So it's meant to be swept. You know. So that's where we want to get to, not even refuse. We want to get to the point of clearing our drainages and then, of course, sweeping our streets. I'm not talking about, because refuse ought to be at the point of generation, which is our homes. And then the contractors or the TC chairman or the councillors or the committee or ASWAMA will come and pick it from there. That's where it is supposed to be.
Okay. Yeah. Chimaka, you want to add something to what he said?
No, I think he had done justice to that. So really nothing. He just did justice.
Now let's talk about the disengagement of the road sweepers. Now, before now, I used to, early in the morning or even late in the night to see some women, some men sweeping the road and all that. But for quite some time now, we've not been seeing them. And, we want to know whether there is a new engagement or you just want to dismiss them entirely from the system.
No, it's not possible to dismiss.
I know now, I'm speaking,
yes,
a lot of people are listening, so they want to know what happened.
When this government came, and then we found out that Oka was allotted 120 sweepers.
Okay.
Onisha, 200. Newi, 120. Being paid by the local government. And luckily for the states, a program came from the World Bank that will employ 1,755 persons. And so, the state, being run by an economist, top economist, said, well, let's make use of that. That will last 1 year, 2 years. Madam Commissioner also, is driving it, and then she will elaborate on that. So we have about close to 1,755 persons now being engaged for that sweeping purposes. So there's no way the state will leave sweeping off. I just told you when I was speaking last, that look, the level we want to get to is the level where the street is swept and not cutting off refuse anymore from the street. That's the level we want to get to. And then I think, in the next few weeks, no, for a few days, not weeks, you will see them back on site.
Okay.
You will see them back on site in full force, and then you will be happy.
Okay. Of course, I know I will be happy because I've been seeing your men working day and night. Even my street, I saw the truck entering the street. That was yesterday, and people were just coming out, bringing out their refuse, and it was good to see that.
So the sweepers will also make you happy.
Okay. Madam Commissioner, why don't you elaborate more on that? And then those people that will be engaged, there's some criteria for the engagement.
Not will be. Engaged.
It's okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for this. This is on, like he mentioned, MD of ASWAMA. This is on a World Bank program, NCARES, which is COVID-19 management. So the project is geared towards alleviating the impact COVID had on the citizens of Nigeria. So the program is not currently being implemented in Anambra. It's not only in Anambra. It's actually implemented across Nigeria. So on this particular program is labor-intensive workfare. This is for active people who do not have a means of livelihood. So they're engaged to do something and being paid for doing it. So we have in Anambra decided to work and engage them on road sweeping. Right, so we have 1,755 persons who are supposed to sweep every day and be paid an amount at the month end. So this program has been ongoing. It started, I know, the sensitization, the collation of people. I think just to mention, it's not just anyone. These are vulnerable persons, and they need to be, that's pulled from a social register.
Okay.
Social register is a register that the state developed that kind of have a vulnerable persons, people without unemployed at the time and all. So these are the names we're able to pull from there that kind of fits into this category. So those people are expected to work and then be compensated for it. So we have, like I said, it's a program that's been ongoing, and we have different people working at different sites. And we would, I could just run people because we actually want this as, we want more like a citizen ownership of this process.
Yes.
I am an chair if So if you understand that people need to sweep in your communities, then you can actually call a line to actually inform us, or also call us to say people are not sweeping. But there you need to understand the clusters, because it's not everywhere. We have identified some strategic spots and also communal places that people should sweep. So I can quickly run through it. So Kaimalo, and let's know exactly where these people are, and they're supposed to be sweeping every day. So first of all is Ekulobia. We are looking at Ekulobia roundabout to Oko Road to stop at Nako filling station. So there's a cluster of people working on that road. There's Ekulobia roundabout to Nanka Road and to stop at Umu Ezeno for primary school. That's on the Ekulobia. Number 3, the third place is Ekulobia roundabout to Sophia Road to stop at Obo Osisi Market, Ekulobia. Yeah, there is along Agwata Road, Victoria Hospital to Agwata Local Government Headquarters. There are people supposed to be sweeping there. Agwata Local Government Headquarters to Igwe's Palace, Ekulobia. Urban Girls to Prison, Ekulobia, along Ezinifite Road. Igwe's Palace to Agwata High School. Agwata High School to Afo Market. Afo Market to Apostle Gate. And Apostle Gate to Cornerstone Lodge Junction. So this is all the clusters. We have 11 locations in Ekulobia.
Ekulobia,
yes.
Okay.
So we have people that are supposed to be sweeping that every day. So we want you to also help us to ensure that the roads are swept, and also give us feedback if there are concerns. Amuko, for Newi, we have 11 clusters at Newi as well. Amuko Road, so people are supposed to be sweeping that. Newi Teaching Hospital, people are supposed to be sweeping that. Nobi Road, there are people supposed to be sweeping Nobi Road. Peter Clever Road, people are supposed to be sweeping that. Traffic lights to Miriele. Miriele. Akudo Junction to Igbo Rizu. Area Commander towards Emek Court Road. Science and Technology Express Road towards Koscharis Road. Wanimo bus stop by Edo as a Newi Road. Opuneze Junction, St. Mary's Junction. These are 11 clusters for Newi. Oka, we have in Oka we have over 22 clusters in Oka. Yes, the first is along Express Road, along Express. Number 2 is Walk Road. Number 3 is Court Road. Ring Road to Nkwo Ameyi Street. Ameyi St. Patrick's. Ekelka to Paul University. St. Patrick's to Ekelka. Kwata Flyover. Igwe Gibson. Igweze Street. Roma Junction to Ifitoka Road.
Aroma Junction to Ifitoka Road.
Okay, I think it's wrongly spelled here, sorry. Aroma Junction to Ifitoka Road. That's Unizik Gate. Old Road Northia to Amobia Boundary. Amobia Bypass, Traffic Light Junction. Amobia Road Roundabout to Governor's Lodge. Echo Yibo Market and Park. Paul Varsity to Police Headquarters. Amobia Flyover Area. Goodwill Junction. Goodwill Junction to Y Junction to Regina Junction. Y Junction to Thames Site, Unizik. Ekweme Square to House of Assembly. Assembly Road, Judiciary Boulevard to Bearjoy Junction, then Aroma flyover area. I think that's it. Yeah, Aroma flyover area is also to be swept. I think finally is then Onitsha. So just to mention that we limited this to the 4 major cities in Anambra. So that's why you hear Ekulobia, Nnewi, Awka, and then here Onitsha. So Onitsha we have 28 clusters. The first is Imobi Onitsha to Bishop Onyabo, 2 ABS Junction to ShopRite to Stock Market to Onitsha North Local Government Headquarters and Imobi Palace Awka. Awka Road, Enugu Road to Holy Trinity, Oguta Road, that's Okosi Road, MCC. Yeah. Oguta Road, DMGS to Okosi Junction. Okosi Road, that's Awka Road to Ojedi Junction. Okosi Road, Ojedi to New Cemetery to Oguta Junction. Ugunabampa. Yeah. That's Okosi Junction. Awka Road, that's St. Mary to DMGS. Awka Road, that's Texaco Junction to St. Mary's. Awka Road, Bromi to Seaman to Texaco Junction. Seaman Texaco Junction. New Market Road to Main Market. Old Market Road, that's Obomanu Ose to Ose. Zix Avenue, Niger Avenue to Top Rank Hospital. Zix Avenue, that's Top Rank to Greek Road Junction. Port Harcourt Road, Upper Iweka to Greek Road Junction. Port Harcourt Road, that's Upper Iweka to Creek Road Junction. Creek Road, that's Niger Avenue to Osenko. Then back to Onitsha South.
All right.
No, not done.
Okay, not done. Okay, go ahead.
From Arondizogu Street to Olu Street. Port Harcourt Road, that's Creek Junction to Niger Avenue. Iweka Road from Ukumango or Chanja Expressway to Down Flyover. Creek Road, Niger Avenue to Modebe. New Market Road, DMGS to Obomanu 1. New Market Road, DMGS to Obomanu 2. Modebe Avenue, Iweka Road Junction to Creek Road 1. Modebe Avenue, Iweka Road Junction, Creek Road 2. Modebe Avenue, Iweka Road Junction to Creek Road. Then Modebe Avenue again, Oguta Road Junction to Creek Road.
I think we need a soft copy of this so that we can do like a production and be rolling it on the television so that people will understand. And when they are, those places that you called out are not swept, are there numbers that we can call?
Yes, there are numbers to call, yes. Like we had said, so going forward, Aswama will be the one in charge. Aswama is charged with the responsibility of ensuring that the roads are clean. So with the ensuring that waste are evacuated, to also the sweeping of the road. Yes, so Aswama contact to reach out to maybe to give feedback on the people working. Are also complaints if there are any. The number to call is 070-369-32839. She's in charge of road sweeping within Aswama ministry.
All right, agency. Yeah. Okay, all right. Let's get people's opinion on this topic that we are actually discussing, so that, because I know a lot of them raised some questions, so that you address the questions. Let's go for street walk right now.
Every country have a way of disposing their dustbins and things like that. They don't keep them because it's not a food. It kind of generates a lot of problems. The typhoid fever, the malaria, and all that. Soludo is doing a good job, and I'm very happy for him. You know, that thing, the dustbin was out, totally out, you know, of my side. It's not in my side anymore. And people called me in the United States and said Soludo removed the dustbin. That's why I'm always going to be for Soludo. So if they ask anybody to pay anything, you know, so the dustbin could be taken, you know, and let them do it.
The idea is nice, but coming into it, look at
our environment now. I don't think that idea is going to work, especially here in a developed city. When you talk of the rural area, no problem, but for here, I don't think it will work, that idea. But if they can bring a place like maybe field, we can go there and drop it. The waste car will come there and pack those things. It's nice. But the payment is okay. We will pay in. Provided the environment is neat, we will pay.
Yes, I think it's a very good thing. A healthy society is what is required. If a place is not clean, it becomes a breeding ground for all sorts of diseases. So government taking action in this regard is something worth commending, and I commend the governor for taking these great measures. And then getting our people to be enlightened about hygiene is the greatest thing you can do for a society. All hygienic societies are always advanced countries, Japan, Germany, America, and the rest of it. So we are joining the League of those nations by this kind of arrangement by the governor. Yeah, rates have to be paid. Our people have been spoiled over the years. They don't pay taxes, they don't pay rates. So now you're trying to reintroduce those things with which a government can function. It is very good. The rates by the governor is very good. It's not exorbitant. It's not usurious. It's just something that fits the purpose, as you can see.
To me, it's not that okay because in the residential areas, we don't have where to drop our waste being so far. Like close to what's it called, back of CBN. Throughout that, the whole of that area there's nowhere to drop refuse. So if they can organize it so that they'll be coming to the house or to the streets to pick it at the end of the week or night or whatever, then if they want us to be paying for it, they also come up with a plan so that we don't have to be paying for it. But right now, people are dropping waste anywhere they like. So there's no proper way of disposing that.
All right, well, welcome back. Of course, people said that it's a very good idea. I like the one that spoke that people have been spoiled for a very long time. That's why we don't even pay taxes. Because I, for one, I told you the last time you came back that I've never paid for refuse disposal. And right now, I'm eager and willing to pay so far we have a clean and a healthy environment. But then someone now said that she doesn't think it's going to work in an urban setting, that she would prefer where we have an open field. Everybody can come and dump his or her refuse there. So what's your reaction to that?
No, that era is gone. Mm-hmm. I will encourage her to please buy a bin, depending on her volume, the volume of refuse that she produces.
Generate, yeah.
So that you have a bin that can help you keep your refuse for at least 1 week. It mustn't be in your house, inside your house. There are the ones like 60 liters that are meant to be inside maybe a flat. But thereafter, there should be 240 liters that is outside, which is where everybody now puts the waste inside the compound. Refuse, like my brother spoke first, said, is not meant for the street. Flowers is what we ought to see on the street. Sweepers are the people we're supposed to see on the street, not refuse. The era of open dumping, open littering is over in Anambra, and we're not going back there. Where we're going now, we're not also under any illusion that is perfect now. But what we're saying is, please help us to get better and better and better. But for our streets, please, nobody should ever think of bringing refuse back there, because it's not where it ought to be.
Okay, now when you talk about having a bin, do you just come and throw your refuse or pour it inside the bin and then wait for the Asoma people to come and carry it and pour it inside the truck, or do you need to have a cellophane inside of it?
Yes, you have this cellophane, we sell them, and then of course you are free to buy from anywhere. It makes it even tidy for you, for your bin. It makes your bin last longer even if you do that, because there is this ammonia that the refuse generates when you pack them and close them. So, but if you tie it, then all they need to do is just come remove it and then drop your bin for you. So thank you for reminding me. We have cellophane. We sell our own. 1,000 for 20 pieces.
Okay.
20 pieces. But if you find our own costly, please go to any supermarket, you will find it. And then just bag your waste. Bag your waste neatly and then wait for our people who will come and then we will empty it. And you keep your bin and you live very, very calm and happy. We want you to be happy. We want Anambra people to be happy. The government wants Anambra people to be happy. And so our job is to serve you. That's why we also say pay now so that we will be accountable to you. If you pay, you are now the boss. Because who pays the piper dictates the tone. Once you pay, then you can hold us onto it.
All right. Also tell us the mode of the payment. How do we pay? Do we pay to the people that will come to pick the refuse? Do we pay to any particular bank?
No. The AIRS people, are giving US to the local government chairman now.
Okay.
So that is configured towards sending the money to the state. You understand? So what you need to do is to be sure that the person is an agent of the state, with a configured POS. If you can, go to the bank and pay it yourself. And then the receipt, the invoice, the receipt will be generated automatically from the bank to you,
okay,
bearing all the security codes from AIRS. Don't pay cash to anybody.
All right.
Do not pay cash to anybody. It is abolished. Cash payment is abolished in this state.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. What is your name and your location, please?
My name is Okechukwu Onyeme, calling from Jos, Plateau State.
Okay, Chukwu, welcome.
Thank you very much. I love the discussion, and I see Anambra is really making progress. Soludo is doing very well. But I want to say that we can still modernize it. You see, in Canada or Budapest, that's Hungary, most of these urban cities, they have desk offices there. And these desk offices, there are desk officers that will always manage those areas.
Okay.
Some of them complain about not having a place to dump refuse. This issue should be a daily thing. Like I said, if they privatize it, and the private of the companies come into it, the state will generate revenue because they will employ people, and they will be the ones to supply all these selectors, drug selectors for residential areas and even for corporate organizations. And when they supply all these things to them, they're supposed to call premise tax. Premise tax is a tax levied on issues like this. Refuse. And again, time has passed when they employ women to start sweeping the streets. Most of them have died through that way. People kill them unnecessarily, cars will run over them, some cars will lose a brake and run over them. Nowadays, what is used in Budapest is what is a machine they call sweeper. This machine, like a car, a vehicle, it has sweeping brushes that they roll over the road and it sweeps everywhere, within 10 minutes, everything clear up. Yeah? And again, they have what we call selector, a machine they call selector. This machine selects if the machine is configured to pick only plastic bottles, the machine will pick those to select them when the refuse are brought.
Okay.
And then the selector is already configured to pick
all right. Okay. Thank you so much, Okechukwu.
This government will step up. They are really doing a good job. Thank you very much and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much, Okechukwu. Chabaki, you heard what he said. I want you to react to what he said.
Baby steps first,
yes.
I must say. I get that this is where we intend to be, and what we are actually progressing, what we are currently doing is even sensitization to tell people a lot of things are possible.
Yes.
So even keeping your waste to yourself is actually something that we are still getting people, because I say here, my waste is full and all that. It really is the waste you generated. It's actually your property. You need to find a way to manage it. Right. So I kind of, I very interesting ideas, but we are moving. We are making progress, like the MD said. Currently, we are still getting to sensitize people to even back their waste. we are trying to get people to keep their waste from by themselves and then wait for it to be collected. The road sweeping part, yes, right now we are still doing manual. Yeah, over time we will progress to some mechanizations like that or technology enabled processes like this. So yeah, baby steps, we understand that, and we know that this is the ultimate goal really, because you are looking for a smart city. You are looking for a system that is almost on auto operate. Yes. So here we are headed there, but before we get there, we think we need to also keep doing things, keep moving, keep improving on it until we get to that perfect or that standard we are currently aiming at. But these are immediate things, interventions we are providing just to ensure that the state is making progress.
All right, thank you so much for that. And just before we go, any word of advice from the Anambra?
Yes, please, our people, the governor, Mr. Governor, Dr. Charles Soludo, means well for all of us, including this waste management issue. It runs deep in his heart. He wants you not to fall ill due to an unclean environment. So please, we are pleading with you. It might not be very easy, but it's not impossible for us to keep a clean environment. So as we do it, we expect you to help us. Do your own part, pay your own levies, and then hold us to it. Because once you pay, once we begin this attitude of payment of taxes, then if you see anybody living above his means or her means, being in government, you can now really hold the person accountable. And so the era of free lunch is over in Nigeria. And you want that megacity, you want that Dubai, Taiwan. The only way to do it is to help the government, do your own part, pay your own fair share of the taxes, and then allow the governor and the executive members to deal with these issues. And I can tell you, in a very short while, Anambra State will be a reference point for all other states. We want to be better than Lagos in this waste management issue. I heard my brother talk about mechanization of sweeping. We're just employing 1,755 people who are unemployed. Over there, I'm not sure you can get that. So, like she said, step by step, we will get there ultimately. But right now, in that summer, we have 8-year rolling plan. The last point is waste to wealth. The last point, right now we are on this, like you said, baby step. Where everything is manual, so that at least we clean our streets. Then we get to the second point, where at least we automate the movement of refuse. Then the last other one, which is the final point, is what is talking about waste to wealth. And then we turn everything to gold, because waste is gold. That's what I can tell you.
All right, Chamaka, now with all those policies that is being rolled out to see that we have a clean and healthy environment in Anambra State, in the next 6 months, where do you see Anambra State in terms of waste management?
In the next 6 months, so just even before I go into, I think you mentioned that we have identified the governance model, which I think that the Anambra needs to understand, is actually community partnership. We understand that we can't do it by ourselves, and we kind of looking for a way, which is one of the ways to engage the community to actually join in this governance journey, if you must say. So we believe that if the community are aware and on board and they understand the plan, then they're able to kind of even support in ensuring this happens. So hence why we're online, to actually inform you of what the plan is, what the governor intends to achieve, and the effort he has made towards this. So if we bring this on board, with your partnership, with your understanding and also collaboration, in the next 6 months, and we should have made significant progress from where we are. At least we should have been done. We should have had open waste management, open dumping as history.
Yeah.
That I believe, and the roads are clean. At least before, let's move on to something more substantive beyond just littering the roads. I think there's a lot to do in Anambra, and we need to just focus on actually making Anambra State a livable and prosperous city beyond just waste management is holding us back. So let's just move past it and move towards a bigger and better Anambra.
All right, thank you so much for that. Okay, amen. Thank you so much for that. I want to say a very big thank you to you, Chiamaka Nakia, the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning right here in Anambra State. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
And also to you, Engineer Michael Zemina, the MD of Anambra State Waste Management Agency as well. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
I'll be right back when you come.
Okay. Well, that's it on the show this morning. Thank you so much for being part of it. And to our callers, we really appreciate you for your suggestions and also your contributions. Thank you so much. It's a Friday, so I wish you a happy weekend. Bye. My name is Chidima Oranwa. Have a wonderful weekend.
So today we discuss a